Howdy, folks. It's Thursday, November 15th. I have had some trouble getting my videos uploaded here because I haven't posted anything since the 6th of November. The 7th was my birthday. The 8th, I had some bank meetings, and then went down about 40 miles south of here and bought a jig to do hinges. If I have 40 doors and every door has 4 hinges, there'll be 160 cuts on the doors for one half of the hinge and 160 cuts on door jambs for that part that goes on a jamb. So I thought it was a good idea to get a jig to do that. There's the garbage can. John has taken out, he says, 18 garbage cans of sawdust. I mean, I cleaned up once already today, put that much in. Today, what I've been doing, this, folks, is my 4 sets of French doors, so 8 doors, and it's the insides of it. This stack is perfectly flat, no crown, or no curve. Think of it that way. A crown is a curve. These here, they all have a little bit of a crown. You can see where the arrow mark is, right there. That indicates a crown, and that's why what I'm trying to do is push the crown down. So I put all my rails, which are the bottom parts and the top parts in the middle. I put all the rails for the doors on top of this set that has the crowns. Hopefully we'll get them flattened out a little bit. John's not here today. He was here Monday and Tuesday this week, and all last week, and then on Friday I had to leave early at 2 o'clock. I had a root canal in the morning, and it turned out it was an infected gums, and I was just in utter agony. Finally, on Sunday morning, I called the doctor or the dentist and got a prescription filled, but it was just terrible. I know nobody else has ever had a tooth hurt that much. But anyways, this wood here is what I worked on to get made. This is what I call veneers. What we would do, this is a board. It's right now 3/8 inch thick, maybe a little less. We cut that off of boards that were 8 feet long and 2 inches wide, and John would run it through the band saw, and I would be on the other end trying to support it and pull it through on the last final inch or so that he didn't cut his fingers off. He's not here today or yesterday. I was in meetings all day yesterday, and today I've been working on getting that stuff planed. These are my door jambs. Think of it this way: a door jamb is that part that goes against the wall on either side of the door, and then the ceiling of the doorway. So I've got all those there. I made all those. You can see here they'll all get painted. We're going to have our doors cherry, but we'll varnish the cherry, and everything, all of our other woodwork will be white. And so, for instance, here, what I did is, that's a seam. I took 2 boards, 1, 2, glued them together. I use dowels, little dowels, and then I had to plane them down until the top was flat. This afternoon, I'm working on running through what I call veneers. They're thick strips of wood Like I say, these are 3/8. My objective by the end of the day will be to have that down to about 1/4. Now, my planer, remember you flatten the surface of a board on a planer. My planer will not go down that low because I've added this to get some support. But this is causing it to not go down, this little strip here that I have to keep wood from going, not working, or from going off the whiteboard. So in order to get these thin strips, which are about 3/8 of an inch, what I do is I set them on top of this pine board that I just simply have sitting on my thing, and I push it down so that this will go through. And when that goes through, you can see how wavy and rough this board is. So by the time I get done, it'll be flat, and there won't be any of those waves. And I'll run it through probably twice to get it down to 1/4 of an inch. But by contrast, look at all the waves there. Over here, what I've done is I've run it through. Now I can tell, I know I got to get it down to 1/4 inch, but I can tell that I've got her pretty smooth. This, I guess, is the side that has to get smoothed out. The other side was smooth because we always planed them before we ran them through the bandsaw. So that's the process. I have probably 30 of these to run through at least once. I know many of them will get run through twice. This cherry is expensive and it's just beautiful wood. So for instance, when we were doing some things, I said, I want to cut that portion of a board off that we aren't going to be using for it, for instance, kick plates or rails. And so this is a stack of cutoffs, and I'm saving them. And what I will end up doing is I'll end up, getting rid of stuff like this, which is the old bark, and then I will glue them together and, have a big block. And then what I'll do is my objective will be to cut them down into smaller chunks, and I'll make cutting boards out of them for gifts for people and the like. So I try not to waste any wood. John teases me sometimes. He says, well, we could always go out in the yard down by the swamp where we've been dumping this stuff, and we could take some glue with us and make some boards. And that is a lot of sawdust. But it's necessary when you're taking a board and doing with it and what we're doing by making all these other parts. So thanks for following. Bye.